We are making this recording a few days before my mother's birthday. She will be 100 years old on February 6, 2021. What we decided to do as part of her 100th birthday celebration was to ask some of the students at the University of South Florida in the College of Behavioral and Community Sciences to provide questions that they would like to have somebody who's getting ready to turn 100. So they submitted a few questions, and Mom's going to answer them today. Now, this to me was an interesting question. What was the best decade for you, and how does that compare to the last 10 years?
I know you'll be surprised, but it was the ages 1 through 10. I was a happy little girl running in the neighborhood. And the best thing was our school was only a half a block from home. Then my mother and father were able to buy another home. And in this home, we had a bathroom. The bathroom had a bathtub. I didn't have to have a bath in an old wash tub anymore. And the best part was we had a commode. That is something I have never forgotten. Those were the good days.
So, Mom, what did you use before you had a bathroom?
It was some kind of a contraption in our garage. And all I remember, it was similar to the old outhouse where they had the carved holes. And can you imagine going out in the middle of winter in Minneapolis in that cold to go to the bathroom? That's how I grew up. So when I got that bathroom, that was the prize. Here we are up was to 2010. I have access to two bathrooms. I'm living in a condo that has everything. I've got a dishwasher. I'm not washing dishes under in an old pan of water and drying them.
Do you have any regrets or advice for others for living your life to the fullest?
Well, if I had it all to do over again, I know one thing I would have done. I would have taken time to spend more time with my children. I was so busy ironing and cleaning and washing. I did spend time with the children, but not like I should have. I missed a lot of basketball games and I missed piano recitals. I could go on and on. The list goes on forever. And I think overall, that's the one thing I regret.
But on the other hand, being one of those children, I remember that you did a lot of special things for us. I want to balance out that story because I have a lot of memories of really good things that you did to help us and to be with us and play with us and things. What was the best thing about reaching 100 years of age?
Well, I think the best thing, and I've thought about it a lot, has been watching my children grow. And now I'm watching my two great grandchildren. And I don't think anyone could ask for anything else. That is the frosting on the cake.
Did you do anything special that you think might have contributed to living such a long life?
I had spurts of exercising and I did it. And also taking time to eat 3 meals a day. And I was fortunate, even with the depression, we had 3 meals a day. And thanks to my parents, I survived.
One of the stories you told me once about the depression really made an impression on me, and that was the impact of having to wear shoes that had been government issued and how that affected you at school.
I have to go back to the Depression days. I had a hard-working father. He'd walk the streets of Minneapolis looking to try to find a job. So one day, he was sitting in the old rocking chair, and the tears were running down his cheeks. And he says, "Ellen, I have no choice. We have to go on welfare because I can't let you and my brother die." Welfare was not too bad, but it sure wasn't good. And it was embarrassing, very embarrassing. And I'll tell you when it was embarrassing is when you went to school on Monday morning and you had gotten a new pair of shoes. They were tan and brown like saddle oxfords, ugliest brown and tan you ever saw in your life. Plus the fact I also got a new coat at the same time. The coat was an old ugly tan coat, but that's all we had. We had to wear it. The thing that so shocked me was when I went to school, None of us in school ever talked about others that were on welfare. That was a deep, dark secret. You didn't want anybody to know that. But that day I discovered half of the class was on welfare. They were all wearing tan coats and the same pair of shoes. That has stayed with me through all my years. I've never forgotten that.
You had many of your educational accomplishments at a different time frame than most people do. So, talk to us a little bit about the first time you started college at Amarillo Community College.
Well, okay, I think we have to go way back to that old depression. This is before the depression. Every morning I would get up and eat breakfast with my father. And he taught me how to tell time. He taught me everything. So I'd say, Daddy, where do I go after I get out of first grade? Well, he says, you go to second grade. So it went on, the list went on, and we went through high school. So I says, then, well, where do we go then? Well, I'll tell you, you're going to the University of Minnesota. Well, it didn't work out that way because of the depression. But in high school, I knew I would have to work. When I got out of school, there was no sign of a college education. So I took typing, shorthand, and bookkeeping, everything that would make it feasible for me to apply for a secretarial job. Did in 1939 when I graduated. The next day, I went out job hunting. I searched and I searched and I walked in every store. I had applied to all the four dime stores, as we call them, and I got a telephone call from Cress. They asked me to come to work the following Friday. The job was 48 hours a week, $12. I did that for the summer of 1939. And then finally, I got a chance. My next door neighbor said, they are hiring people at the Santa Fe offices. You might try. I went down there, rushed down there to put in my application, and I also had to take a test. The woman said to me, she says, I'm surprised. I can't believe it. You have worked math problems that college graduates can't work. And I thought, oh my God, I got the job. I will be making $145 a month, not that lousy 48. I was so elated. She called me back, but she said, I'm sorry, ma'am. We just can't take you. You do not have a college education. And that is when I decided if I ever had children, they would have college educations because how are they going to get a job? And when I was 79, it was my daughters. And they told me in emphatic terms, Mom, you're going to back to college. I had to take my remedial. When I took those, I got the same answer. This man says, oh, you passed everything almost. You're better than our students. But he says, you are going to have to take remedial courses. Well, I took them. I loved them. I loved every single minute of it. I managed to get my associate's degree in Amarillo in 2005. I moved to Clearwater. And after a year living in Clearwater, I was bored. I wanted to go back to school. So then I managed to find a course at Eckerd College, which was perfect for my lifestyle.
How old were you when you got your
I was
baccalaureate?
90. I was 90 when I got it.
90 years old, yes.
90 years old.
And you also got the award for Outstanding Creative Writing Program and graduated with honors. So we were all so proud of you, and of course still are. After you graduated from Eckerd College with a baccalaureate degree, you took up piano lessons. That was something that you'd always wanted to do. But then I would really like to focus on what you've been doing the last couple of years with your painting classes.
When I did finally retire in Amarillo, I ended up taking quilting classes. I did that for about 9, 10 years. I had started to quilt in 1995. And when I moved here, I had it in the closet. So I finally got it down. Cookie suggested that I finish it. And I gave it to her. And it's the flower quilt. And she loves it. And I enjoy making it. So then she said, well, what are you going to do now, Mom? Why don't you take the art classes that they offer at St. Jerome's Church? We made arrangements for the art classes. Best thing I ever did in my life. One of the best. I love every bit of it. I'm fortunate. I have a good teacher. She's very understanding. I paint a new picture every week. It's not Van Gogh, but you know what it is? It's something for me to do every week. Every week, I have to get up in the morning and think, oh my gosh, I've just got to get dressed here and get ready because I've got to have that picture by next Monday. And that has been keeping me going ever since. And I'm still taking art lessons.
One thing you told me is although you don't have a lot of physical pain often, you sometimes have some arthritis pain. And you told me that the painting takes your mind off of your pain.
Oh, that's the best thing about art, about it. I'll probably wake up maybe Monday morning after class date and I'll think, oh, I can't make it today. I've just got to call and cancel. But I'll push it aside and I'll say, okay, I can. The knees are aching, the back is aching, the toes are aching, everything's aching. But I go in there, take the shower, get dressed, get my equipment out. And Carolyn, my other daughter, takes me down to a beach center. I get in my place, start talking to all my good friends, and I've got a lot of them down there. And I'll sit there and paint from 1 o'clock until 4, not one ache or pain. And that also goes home with me when I'm having to do my homework painting. I don't feel anything. And I guess it has something to do with the mind.
Well, now the pandemic interfered with you being able to go to the beach center for your art classes, and so you easily picked up your classes by Zoom. You've actually been pretty adept at using technology for certainly a person your age. Mom started using a computer, probably when you're in your 70s or 80s, not sure about that. And then she moved to an iPad, and her iPad goes with her everywhere now. She's got that going. She reads on it, she reads the newspaper on it, she plays words with friends on it, she does her Google searches on it, she emails people on it. She's just really getting tech savvy there. But one of the things that happened was with the pandemic, the art classes had to stop. She went to Zoom art classes. And that was one way that kind of something that helped you get through the past year through the pandemic. So, would you talk to us a little bit about the impact of the pandemic on you?
That is a tough subject. I can get depressed thinking about it. Like I said, I've gone through the depression. The times we're living in and people out of work again, that's what bothers me. I think of those poor children. Maybe they aren't even getting the shoes and the coat that I got. I will tell you this part about the welfare in the 30s. The city gave us $3.50 a week for food. It had to be purchased at A&P. We had to eat the foods that were on that list and nothing else and buy those. And that's how I lived. And can you imagine my mother and my father managed to feed my brother and me $3.50 a week, and I was never hungry. Never. I had nourishing food.
I was interested in one of the things that you did immediately when the pandemic started is you made the decision that you were going to stay inside and wear your mask. And in part, I think that was influenced by what was going on in Italy at the time with the uh, limited numbers of beds, hospital beds, and ventilators. And I was so impressed with your view on that and how it might affect how it affected your decision to quarantine. Do you remember what you said to us at that time?
Actually, staying inside isn't bad at all for me. I I've got a lot to do. I also read, and as you said, I do words with friends, which takes up a good part of my day. Oh, I'm busy.
So once you told us that your grandmother, I mean your mother, my grandmother, actually took care of her family during the 1918 flu epidemic.
When they had the Spanish flu, she says everybody had it in the house, only me, and I took care of them. So who the people she was taking care of was my dad and her husband, and my two uncles and my grandmother. And all I remember, she said, I made beef broth, is what she said. And I fed them that all the time. And that was surprising. She says, because all they ever wanted was fried meat and potatoes, but they did like my beef broth. And that's what I remember about it.
Well, one of the things that you've said frequently has been that the secret to your success and keeping you alive and healthy throughout the last, say, 20 or 30 years has been having projects.
Oh gosh. When I finish one, I'll pop two more.
So,
I've
what
got,
kinds of projects? You've mentioned quilting already. What are some other projects you have done?
oh, my dollhouse.
Your dollhouse?
Yeah, yeah, oh, that, I wish you could see that. And then did the quilting, the memoirs. That was a project, digging up all the information. Right now, I'm making a quilt I started about 30 years ago. It's a yo-yo quilt, and I've got that still yet. I'm making a pillow for Cookie.
You owe me a turkey trot t-shirt. Well,
Oh, that's next on the list.
we have a family turkey trot every year, and we order t-shirts for the family. And so we've got about 10 of those from 10 years of doing it. So she's going to put those together in a quilt for me. In general, you would say those projects have really been something that's added to your quality of your life.
Projects have kept me alive. They do really have, and I enjoy every one I do.
What is your secret to aging successfully?
I just don't think there is a secret, except the challenges that life gives you, whether they're good or they're bad. And I like to think about the old adage, if life gives you lemons, make lemonade. And believe you me, I have made gallons and gallons of lemonade in my lifetime.
Yeah, you sure have. You've done a good job of that. We're going to open up a lemonade stand and you can sell the lemonade out there on the beach. So, Mom, so the Roger Boothroyd, Mary Armstrong, and myself, we started a project called the Moms Project. It's a scholarship program to support undergraduate student researchers at the University of South Florida. Tell me a little bit about what that project means to you.
It really means everything because I wish I'd had a little help along the way when I was young.
We featured the scholarship that's in your name on positive aging. How did you feel about that concept of positive aging? Is that how you look back and view your life?
I don't, really, truly, I haven't even thought about getting older, to tell you the truth. But I've gotten there. I'm going to make the best of what I got. So that's all you can do. And look forward to tomorrow and hope the quilt does get finished.
Yeah.
But that's all. No,
So, what matters to you most at this stage of your life?
one answer. I want to live to be 105.
Oh, well, I think we're going to go for 114. I think there's some record out there, 114 or more. Well, I actually remember telling you when you were 90 that we were on the 10-year plan and that the plan was to get you to 100. Now that we're at 100, I think we got to, all right, we'll adopt a 5-year plan, but I think we ought to strive for more than that. So, hey, Bob,
Yeah.
thanks so much for spending time and helping the students understand what it's like to have lived a century and to have lived as successfully as you have, and to have such a great attitude towards life and to be so much fun to be around. The happy 100th birthday.
dreams that you dream of, dreams really do come true. Ooh, someday you wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like lemon drops high above the chimney top. That's where